with the studios hemorrhaging money because of all the diversity bullshit they're putting in movies, it seems like actors are so out of touch with the real world, they're complaining about it. Marvel actor Randall Park thinks Hollywood is taking the wrong lessons from box office successes, says studios should look at wins in terms of representation rather than content. I really hope this strike makes every one of these morons bankrupt and they can't afford anything. It's time for them to touch grass and live in the real world. But before I get into the article, guys, make sure you like, make sure you're subscribed, make sure you follow all my links below so you stay up to date on notifications as videos come out. And I think this one's going to be a bit of a rant about this moron. All right, let's do it. According to the MCU actor Randall Park, Hollywood is taking the wrong lesson from the various box office victories, as rather than seeing a given film's success as an indicator that audiences want to see more of a particular story or character, he believes they should indicate a demand for more projects from diverse creators. Randall, look at me for a second. Nobody wants to see those movies. That's why they failed. Amidst a larger discussion on the topic of Asian representation in the industry, the outlet's Marlo Stern posited Asian folks have some of the worst representation in Hollywood by the numbers. Okay, what's your point? You're looking at just numbers? I mean, we can get into numbers, but that might be... I'd get into the numbers, but that would get me kicked off YouTube. And it's never made sense to me because studios are courting the Asian box office, which is almost as big as North American box office, but it feels like Asians aren't really allowed to complain about that because the whole model minority thing. What the fuck are you talking about? We literally just saw it. We literally just saw Asians go to the Supreme Court because you shat on them for diversity, but now you want to put them into the diversity fold, even though for years you've told them they're just white supremacists. Okay. That's how out of touch these people are. I feel like just in general, the industry is taking the wrong lessons. For example, Barbie, the massive blockbuster, and this idea that make more movies about toys. No, make more movies by and about women. No, that's... I literally just did a video saying they don't understand it. And it's back to back. They don't understand it. I mean, he loosely grasped it, but it's not more about women. It's make it for your consumer. The lesson here should be that you gave this brilliant independent woman filmmaker and Greta Gerwig the reins to a big blockbuster movie and had Margot Robbie star in it and produce it. That's not why people watched it. Okay. Like, again, I'm just going to reiterate the point I did in the last video. It was a movie for women. That was the audience, and they made it for women. The diversity didn't matter. The inclusion didn't matter. It was a movie for women. Just like Oppenheimer was a success because it was a movie for men, and men went to see the movie, and it made money. Like, I kind of want to wait till Disney goes bankrupt, buy it for a penny, and make it $1 billion success again. Yeah, and here's a perfect point they bring up. For example, films like Bird of Prey and The Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn and The Charlie's Angels 2019 delivered exactly what Park is asking for. Stories about women directed by a woman. As a bonus, both films are based their entire scripts and marketing campaigns on their respective female representation. As a result, and they flopped. They utterly flopped. Right there, domestic box office. $84 million. I think that actually did less than the Turtles movie. Very close. Very close. Almost at it. 76 million. Okay. Anyway, getting back on track here. Marvel's upcoming The Marvels fulfills all of Park's criteria and also has promoted itself as a feminist project. That's why nobody likes it. That's why everybody's complaining about it. Nobody likes the MCU. Nobody liked The Force as female. Yet there is almost no buzz surrounding the sequel, with many audiences finding the film's promise of being more wacky and silly than the previous MCU entries, having already turned off audience members who are tired of Marvel's ironic humor. Yeah, but it's not funny. It's not funny. Everything about everything coming out of the Marvels is just the whole MCU is awful. Now, here's another example they list: the new Blue Beetle movie, completely centered around a Latin American family and helmed by a Latino director, and it looks awful. Like I watched the trailer and I was like, this is disgusting. Like this is like 90s CGI. Like literally the first Iron Man movie looks better than this. Like they every movie they put out, all they do is scream about how diverse it is. When we see it, we're like, this is awful. We quit going to see the movies every time they promote it as diverse or feminist. Let it die. Go back to making what you did in the 90s. Early 2000s, people watched that. Nobody wants to see this feminist or diverse garbage. Like at this point, going to see a movie seems like you're just getting a lecture on how much of a terrible person you are. Like movies and video games and TV shows are supposed to be about escapism. It's supposed to be about relaxing, having a good time, laughing your ass off. The virtue signaling has killed all of that. Like the only place this actually matters to people is the weirdos in college who study this stuff. And they're not making money off of it either. That's why they're all bankrupt begging for student forgiveness. Regardless of their film's messages, director Ryan Coogler and Greta Gerwig are already established practitioners of their craft. As such, they know how to explore such themes while also being entertaining. That's how successful they were at accomplishing this goal is up to each individual viewer. I'm going to disagree with that. Greta did not make the convolution based on purpose. She did it by complete accident. That's why when everybody's screaming, hey, it's not a feminist movie, it entirely is. It's unironically based. And the only base part about it is Ken, right? The overarching theme of that is that women were running everything and the boys were just destitute on a beach. That's feminism today. That is exactly what it is. It's all about girl boss shit. A success for Kugler and Gerwig shouldn't be minimized by being viewed in terms of victories for everyone who shares their immutable traits. Rather, they should be celebrated as victories for individual filmmakers themselves, as it was their own efforts that brought the idea to the silver screen. Yeah, but she didn't know. She had no idea what the hell she was doing. She stumbled into it by accident. To immediately reduce their own individual accomplishments to their gender or skin color is at the very least insulting. Yeah, at the very least, maybe. I think it's racist as shit. Like to tell someone they were only successful because they were a woman or they were black or they were Hispanic is utterly racist at its base. But I don't think I'm telling you guys anything new. It's almost like this moron like read something somewhere and didn't understand what he was reading, but people were seal clapping, so he was just like, I'll hop on this train and I'll put it out in words for everybody to read and I'll sound smart. The only thing it makes you sound like is a moron. But that's going to be it for this video, guys. Make sure you drop me a like. I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you share this video out. I'll catch you guys in the next one, but until then, be easy like sleazy.